Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is the Cleveland Rosenblums 1931 ABL basketball season. This refers to the 1930-1931 season. Again, the Rosenblums were playing in the American Basketball League. Home games were played at Public Hall in Cleveland. The team finished in 7th and last place with a record of 6-6, 8 games out of first. The Rosenblums dropped out of the league and ceased operations on December 8, 1930. Now, the season was divided into two halves. The first half of the season, the Brooklyn Visitation finished in first place with a record of 14-7, winning percentage of .667. Second place, the Fort Wayne Hoosiers, 13-9, a game and a half out of first. Third place, the Rochester Centrals, 10-9. Fourth place, the Toledo Redmen, 8-13. Fifth place, the Chicago Bruins, 7-14. Sixth place, the Paterson, New Jersey Crescents, 9-9. They also dropped out of the league on December 30th, 1930. And the Cleveland Rosenblums in seventh place with a record of 6-6. In the second half of the season, there were two first-place winners. Fort Wayne Hoosiers, 11-5, winning percentage of .688, and the Chicago Bruins also finished at 11-5. Third place, the Brooklyn Visitation, 8-8. Fourth place, the Rochester Centrals, 5-10. Fifth place, the Toledo Redmen, 4-11, winning percentage of .267, 10 games out of first. There was a playoff for first place in the second half. Fort Wayne won the best of three series, 2-0. The game scores were 25-11 at Chicago and 20-11 at Fort Wayne. In the championship series for the season, the Brooklyn Visitation defeated the Fort Wayne Hoosiers 4-2 games. There was a new rule that season. Each team had to have two rookies to help cut expenses. This hurt the appeal of the game and led to the loss of stars Nat Holman, Johnny Beckman, and Tom Barlow. Again, the Rosenblums owner in 1931 was Max Rosenblum. He owned the team from 1919 to 1931. Max Rosenblum died in 1953 at age 86. He folded the team on December 8th and said, quote, "Fans have shown by their lack of attendance that they are disinterested in professional basketball." Sports writer for the Cleveland News, Ed McCauley, wrote, quote, "It was evident after the novelty of superlative performance had passed that professional basketball did not possess the inherent crowd appeal to make it anything but a losing proposition." Well, it was the Great Depression was on, and this really led to the lower attendance, and there was a future for pro basketball, but it would be years away. Now, the player-coach for the Rosenblums was Joe Lapchick, who played in 12 games, scored 36 points, 3 points per game. Lapchick was a Cleveland Rosenblums player from 1928 to 1931, and a Rosenblums player-coach in the 1930-1931 season. Joe Lapchick. Lou Spindell was a forward. He was 22 years old, 5 foot 10 inches, 175 pounds. Spindell played in 12 games, scored 53 points for an average of 4.4 points per game. He went to college at City College of New York and was a standout for the powerful CCNY team, a talented scorer and an aggressive defender. In college, his record was 30-10. He played pro basketball for 10 seasons. His career was shortened by military service in the Second World War. In the 1950s, he was a teacher in New York City schools and was investigated by the Senate Subcommittee on Anti-Communist Activities under the leadership of Joseph McCarthy. He refused to answer questions and was fired. Spindell was born in 1908 and died in 1997 at age 88. His hometown was New York City. He played pro basketball from 1930 to 1945 with the Cleveland Rosenblums, Toledo Redmen, Union City Reds, Philadelphia Moose, Brooklyn Americans, Yonkers Knights, Jersey City Palace Diamonds, the Brooklyn Visitation, Trenton Bengals, Dunmore, Newark, the New Britain Mules, Nanticoke, Tunkhannock, Freeland, the New York Whirlwinds, New Haven, New York Jewels, Pittston, and the New York Westchesters. He was in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 1944. Lou Spindell, during his career, played in 275 Major League games, scored 1,669 points for an average of 6.1 points per game. Lou Spindell. Dutch Schutz was a forward. Schutz was 22 years old, 6 foot flat, 175 pounds. He did not go to college. Schutz played in 10 games, scored 29 points for an average of 2.9 points per game. Schutz was born in 1908 and died in 1997 at age 88. His hometown was Staten Island, New York. He played pro basketball from 1930 to 1935 with the Cleveland Rosenblums, Toledo Redmen, and Trenton Moose. Dutch Schutz. Dutch Dennert was a guard forward. He played in 12 games, scored 17 points, an average of 1.4 points per game. And Dennert was with the Cleveland Rosenblums from 1928 to 1931. Dutch Dennert. Carl Husta was a guard. He played in 12 games, scored 58 points, an average of 4.8 points per game. And Husta was with the Cleveland Rosenblums from 1925 to 1931. Carl Husta. Pete Berry was a forward guard. He played in 8 games, scored 9 points, an average of 1.1 points per game. And Pete Berry was with the Cleveland Rosenblums from 1928 to 1931. Pete Berry. Al Eckert was a forward. He was 24 years old, 5 foot 10 inches, 175 pounds. Went to college at Findlay. Played in 7 games, scored 11 points, an average of 1.6 points per game. Eckert was born in 1906 and died in 1974 at age 67. His hometown was Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He played pro basketball from 1930 to 1933 with the Cleveland Rosenblums and Cleveland Pennzoils. Al Eckert. Don Dutton was a forward, 24 years old, 5'11", 165 pounds, went to college at Georgetown. Played in 2 games, did not score. He was born in 1908 and died in 1973 at age 64. Played pro basketball from 1930 to 1935 with the Cleveland Rosenblums, Syracuse Shamrocks, Bridgeton Gems, Philadelphia Jaspers, the Babe Didrikson All-Americans, Auburn Contract Club, and Syracuse. Don Dutton. Now, in the 1931 ABL Championship Series, the Brooklyn Visitation defeated the Fort Wayne Hoosiers 4 games to 2 games. Games 1 and 2 were in Brooklyn. Games 3, 4, and 5 were in Fort Wayne, and Game 6 was back in Brooklyn. The game scores were 14-10, 21-13, 24-20, 30-26 in overtime, 18-13, and 24-18. There was still no shot clock at that time, leading to low game scores. At the start of the season, the deepening national economic depression led to shrinking attendance. There was a new rule, a 3-second rule, forbid players from remaining in the foul lane more than 3 seconds. This was a crushing blow to the Rosenblums. The key to their attack was Dutch Dennert pivots plays. Max Rosenblum closed down the team in early December. Dutch Dennert, Joe Lapchick, and Pete Berry signed with Toledo. Carl Husta signed with Fort Wayne, and the ABL folded after the season. And again, back to the championship series, the games in Brooklyn had less than 1,000 fans at those games. In Fort Wayne, one game, there were 3,200 fans. The visitation players earned $80 per man for the 6-game series, the Hoosiers $53. After the ABL folded, Nat Hickey, Dutch Dennert, Pete Berry, Davy Banks, and Joe Lapchick formed a road version of the New York Celtics and barnstormed. They traveled in an old Pierce Arrow automobile bought for $125. They played for $125 per night, or an option of 60% of the gate. The ABL was revived in 1933 as an East Coast league. When the ABL folded in 1931, it would be 15 years till another National Basketball League would arrive, the NBA in 1946. It would be 40 years till the birth of the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Rosenblums had won 3 titles in 5 years, in 1926, 1929, and 1930. This was the end of the first pro basketball dynasty. So that's the story of the 1931 Cleveland Rosenblums. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.